Good afternoon. Welcome to this video once again. Thanks for tuning in. And this video is a follow-up from a previous where I mentioned that I will be talking about a book that was I read in the past that was helpful, and I'm hoping that it'll help you as the same, especially those who young men right now at a time in their lives would have a lot of questions in their adulthood, questioning why why they was raised by a single parent, and the absence of one, whether it be mother or father, things that things that expired during those times in those years. So this book that I read, the title of it is Letters to Young Brothers. And a particular letter, and it has several letters in this book. And a particular letter that I will just read a few captions from would be letter number 3, which is the title is Raised by a Single Parent. And just a little bit about the author. The author is Harper. He's a award-winning actor. He's a humanitarian. He graduated from Harvard Law School and Brown University. He's also known for his role in CSI New York in The Good Doctor. So in this book that I'll be talking about today, it is basically it talks about it discuss different things about young men navigating through life and the tough questions that they have. So with that being said, we're just going to dive in, and I just start with the first caption. So this is here, Mr. Harper is stating, I hope to be a mentor to all young men I've been meeting and speaking to. I hope this book will be a mentor to all young men that he's been speaking to in the past, and for those who read the book. And he's hoping to address the questions that was asked of him during these times, during these speeches, and during the times of mentoring. And he's also hoping that his book will be will help those who love the young men that's been there for them, their parents, from their parents to the uncle to the family and the friends, and they're just having a hard time now trying to communicate to the young brothers or the young men in this society, in today's society, where we're living in a video and a music generation. And he goes on to say, Mr. Hill goes on to say, is that today many young men lack strong male role models in their everyday lives. I hope that through the exchange of these letters, I can be to a young man what my grandfather in their infinite wisdom were and continue to be to me. So basically, just a little background on Mr. Harper also. He was raised by his father. His mother is the opposite. His mother wasn't in the home. He was raised by his father, but he also had a close relationship with his maternal grandfather and his maternal and his paternal grandfathers, who he was there for him as he was growing up. So his questions was always related to why his father had to raise him. And let me pause for one moment. I just remember that this is not no endorsement. I'm not getting paid by no book company, no publisher. This is just all about a book that I read in the past, and I just wanted to share some of the information from it, and just hope that and I know that's in correlation with the Valley and the young men that may have in Valley right now and having questions of why being raised by a single parent. So I'm just going to read now a few excerpts from letter number 3, being raised by a single parent. And Mr. Hill starts off, he says, Dear young brother, I read your words on Father's Day, and I don't think that it was a coincidence you spoke with courage about growing up without a father. And I want you to know I hear you, I see you, and I'm proud of you. I've been there. I was angry too. That anger made me destructive at times. I felt cheated, robbed of a picture perfect 2-parent household. But over time, I learned something that changed everything. My mom didn't leave me, she left the situation. And that truth set me free. So I would just pause right there for one moment. His mom wasn't in the home. He realized later on in life that, hey, it wasn't that his mother left him for to be raised by his father alone. She left the situation. So, young men, think about your parents. At times, or young women, at times things happen in life. And at that moment, they didn't leave you, they left the situation of what was going on at that time. And he goes on to say, your father may have left you. You continue to read the letter. He's replying back to the young man that he wrote him about not having a father, to wish him happy Father's Day. Your father may have left you when you were just a baby, but hear me clearly. He didn't leave you. He didn't know you. Maybe he was scared. Maybe he wasn't strong enough to handle the responsibility. But that was not the reason for you. This is not a reason for you to carry resentment. He was doing the best he could, even if the best wasn't good for you. Even with the best, he did the best he could, even if the best wasn't good for you at that time. And this is what I at times I've had conversation with people, and we've talked about, hey, he just won't dare, she just won't dare, and they talk my moms, and I just tell them, I say, hey, look, one thing after reading this also, I agree with Mr. Hill. I agree that at the time, sometimes our parents, first of all, when the decisions are made, I'm sure it was very hard on them. So we have to give them, that's what we have to give them, grace, and realize that they did the best they could with what they knew. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, give you something to think about. When you think about your parent and the situation and then what happened and why your auntie or why your grandmother or why someone else in the family had to raise you, or why your father wasn't there and you saw your mother going to work and you saw the struggles that she has to keep a roof over your head. And I know that it caused a lot of anger and resentment, but realize that it's time now as an adult to forgive and forgive that parent. So like that. So yeah. And then I'm just going to continue on with Mr. Hill. He says that with this letter that he's writing back to the young man. He said, that day I realized my parents were human, not superheroes, was the day I began to see the world differently. They were a work in progress, just like me. That understanding helped me depend less on them and more on myself. So this is what I'm saying. That right there. Less on them and more on myself. So after I got grown and now that you're grown, you're starting to find out that you're in a valley. There's anger there and you've carried it there against that single parent. And it's not hard, it's not easy right now. But know that you make the decision to start dealing with this because you're at a place where you had your child and there's just a disconnect and you're wondering why, or you're getting ready to get married and you don't want to take this whatever is going on into that situation, into your marriage life and your family life, because you're just saying no, it ends here. So just realize that now and work through the valley. And that could be some people, some people, as I recommend, is counseling. But some people may say, "Oh no, I'm not going to do any counseling. I'm not going to go to psychiatrist." So if you don't choose that route, that's up to you. But there are also other options. There are pastors out there that can counsel you. There are a good friend that you can lay it all out, that you can trust and gotta listen with a listening ear. But please remember, most importantly, it's time to forgive your parents and get to this part in your life, and walk through that path of forgiveness with them. And I just like to remind the young men, the young brothers out there, you have to respect the respect for your mother is much. You have to respect them. If you haven't spoken to them in a few days or a few months, and you just saying, I'm done, I would tell you personally, I would challenge you to just pick up the phone and just give her a call. And if it's just 3 words to say, hey, I just called, I guarantee you she's going to answer. I guarantee you she's going to speak with you. There's nothing. A mother that loves her child, she wants that continued relationship with her child, and she's going to be there for you. And remember that, she just like I said previously, she did the best she could with what she knew. So all we have now, so it's up to us to make ourselves, to work on that part of our lives that needs forgiveness, need to forgive our parents. And in the forgiveness, and you are walking through the valley of forgiveness with God's help, you'll see that, you appreciate these days. And as in an adulthood, the respect is mutual, and the relationships is on another level now. It may take work, but one thing you appreciate that now that you have that parent in your life, and questions has been answered, and it may not be resolved, but over time you can learn how to, as in to an adults, how to be able to communicate and love, and just appreciate one for their differences and what happened. And now that you all have a relationship, and now that you can move on as an adult, and you'll be a better person when it comes to your next generation in your family, in your household, because you've did the work to get past that anger and bitterness, and you're not taking it anymore. You're not carrying it anymore, and it's not affecting your lives. And so just remember that your mother, they did the best they could, and it wasn't small. She just deserves your respect. All mothers do. Matter of fact, all women do, when it comes to um, our young brothers and how we speak to them, our young men, how they speak to them. And for the mothers, I just like to say that you have been there for your child. You carried double the weight with half the help. You was their protector. You was a provider, their nurturer. You got them to the best of your ability, and your strength is unmatched. What you've done over the years for those mothers, and your love is what carried you to be there for your children. Your love has been your strength, and your story is sacred. Only you know. Sometimes your children only know what you had to go through to raise them alone as a single parent. But my hat's off to you. You did what you had to do at that time to raise them. And I just like to say also, just to keep going, because it's known, people seeing what you've done, and you've been valued, and you're loved. And just be honest with yourself. Keep growing. You keep growing one day at a time, one conversation at a time, and one brave step at a time, because you know how to take those brave steps, because you've taken them all your life. So keep going, and keep being who you are, and brave, and God giving you the strength to take one step at a time. And a message also, this book also, as I say, to the fathers, he one of the things, if you were absent and you weren't there, and you left, and your kid didn't never get to know you, or they didn't know your voice. It's not over. Your absence, it may have not. You wasn't there, or whatever happened to make you not stay, whether it was fear, uncertainty, or whatever was going on at the time, or the reasons. The chance now is to say, hey, this is what happened. Forgive me, and I apologize. Let's move on. Let's try to get past this. while we still have one another, because life is short. It's not too late to go to that kid and start getting that, building that relationship. So and being humble, and respect them as an adult, or her as an adult, and understand their standpoint, and just be willing to work through the process of building a relationship. And to that father that was present, to that father that was present, you've been there. You've been there. I know your kids are thankful to that man that stepped in the place of a father. You showed up. You've taught them. You did the best you could. You took on the responsibility. You did the best you could. You loved them. Responsibility, love, and strength, they go hand in hand. You acknowledge your shortcomings, your imperfections when you made a mistake, and you just stay there, and you committed to see them through, to be their role model, and to watch them grow mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You've been there. You've been a true role model, and I just like to say, I know that they are very thankful for those fathers that was there, and it's great to know that no matter what and who you are as a person, not being perfect, but you didn't leave. You stayed there and you did what you had to do, and to be a part of the kids' lives. And you really, personally that, if you don't know, you matter, and you were there, and they do, and they will let you know that they appreciate it and thank you for being there. And back to the young men and the young women, for your pain has been real, but your healing is possible. Respect your mother, forgive your father, and reclaim your story. And me personally, I just like to, on a personal note, I am now parentless. I have neither parent as of this date. I knew that my mother, without a shadow of a doubt, she loved me. Her memory, that's what carries me, because I knew my mother loved me. And if I could just pick up the phone right now and just talk to her and hear her voice and just her say my name, Phil. Because she named me that. That was her nickname she gave me, and I still carry it today. And that's what family and friends know me by, Phil. And we would talk, when I was traveling and working. She could call me anytime, but Saturdays was our day. So my mother and I would just, we would talk and we would have a conversation. And she always was listen. She was a good listener. And, she was just a gentle heart. She was just a kind person. And just to know that, or just to be able to talk to him one more time, there was, was, but I can't. So I live on and I go on day by day. And I carry her memories, and I carry what she has did the best of her be. I saw her work. I saw her did the things that she could for me in the best of her ability. She did what she operated out of what she knew. She done that for me or my other siblings. So, and I know that, and now if she was still here, she would tell me, Phil, go on. And I'm so thankful for the relationship that she had with my wife. Her and my wife loved one another. And she would tell me to, Phil, go on, take care of your wife. And that's what I love so much about my mother, because she did the best she could with what she knew at the time. She loved us, and she loved me. I know that, no matter what. So don't let a day go by. I challenge you. Don't let a day go by. If your mother's still here, get it right. Try to get it right. Work on it. Because when they're gone, it's anyway. So let me move on. Now to my dad, lost him a couple of months ago. And I tell you, I said, to me, when I think about his loss, uh, it was like we, it was hard. I just put it that way. It was hard because my dad, he didn't raise me, but later on in life we reconnected. My dad and I over the years had good years where we talked, we encouraged one another. He was there. Could call him, and he was always say, "Hey son, how's you? How you doing? How's your wife? How's the family?" And he would always have encouraging words, and in his conversation, our conversations, he would always say, "Son, stay focused in the Lord. Whatever you do, stay focused in the Lord. Stay in the Word." And so not only did I not have my mom, and now my recent loss of my dad, it was almost like, for the years that he wasn't there, I felt that kid, that 9-year-old kid that said that I needed to hear my dad's voice. So the absence of him is almost like I lost him twice. So, and it was almost like, well, almost it was. It's like I lost him twice. So I couldn't say, "Hey, Dad, how you doing?" Or we couldn't talk anymore. So it was final. It was done. It was over. I couldn't talk to him anymore. It was done. So I had neither one, mother nor father. But I found in God that He will be my father when I'm fatherless. I found in God and in the Word that He will be there for you. So I challenge you, if it's against your dad or your father, get it together, brother. Get it together. Don't let a day go by. Build that relationship with your dad, and just try to be there for one another, and work on that relationship towards healing. Just forgive your parents. Yeah, and then and as y'all walk through that valley of restoration and reconnecting and restoring relationship, God will meet you all there, and you all will be glad that you, in the end, though it may be painful again. It'll be painful walking through those because all the emotions are gonna be associated with it. But realize that as when you go through the pain, you'll be much appreciated in another day, in the days as the years go by, and as that relationship develop, and you all get to replace or restore uh, that relationship that was lost. So I just like to say again, as the young man, as a young man or a man that's fatherless now, that have no and mother, don't have a mother, just be there and try to make the relationship, work on the relationship and get it right with your parents. So, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. The quality of your life will improve. And forgiveness, most definitely. Forgive your parents because they did the best they could with what they knew. And I would just like to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And I will be making another video in a few days on uh, another book that I read during the process of over the years, and I like to share. And I'll ask you for to subscribe and um, ring the bell, so when I do get another video, I post another video, uh, it'll be, you'll get the notification. And also, I'm still working on the process of Google and Apple Books. The processes is done. I'm just waiting on confirmation before I go live, and they'll be ready to the Valley and the 12 short series will be on those platforms also. And now that before I close, I would just like to, end with the video is called Raised by One and Loved by Two. That was that was something that I can say personally. I was raised by one parent, but I know later on in life I was loved by two. So I would challenge you that it's worth it. You was raised by that one parent, but as your relationship develop and the years go on, you'll realize that you are loved by two. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.